Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. This is the presentation of financial management about the topic of corruption. We are from AM2286H from Group 4. So let's begin the presentation. As you can see from the last slide, there is our group members. My name is Muhammad Mahfuz and I will present to you the introduction to the presentation. Financial management is the practice of planning, organizing, directing, and controlling the financial activities of an enterprise to use resources effectively and efficiently to meet goals and objectives. Budgeting, accounting, and auditing are just a few of many tasks that make up this process and very crucial in maintaining accountability, transparency, and sound governance in the public nor the private sectors. However, because it reduces public scrutiny and gives corrupt practices plenty of possibilities, corruption is a huge obstacle to good financial management. Public financial management is impacted by corruption in all areas of the operation, including budgeting, public expenditure, tax revenues and collections, and procurement. Corruption can arise from almost any area of public administration and finance, including large-scale purchases, significant public work initiative, tax administration, debt management, customs, and the privatization of state-owned businesses. Public awareness and conversation about the issue of corruption in public finance has grown as a result of negative effects of corruption. So, let's go to the related concept which will be presented by Muhammad Farhad. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Muhammad Farhad bin Suradin. I will explain about the first point of related concept. The first point is corruption on global governance, economies and culture. The first global governance system, economies and culture are significantly impacted by the complicated and the ubiquitous phenomena of corruption. It can be broadly defined as the misuse of authority for personal benefit, which includes a variety of practices such influence peddling, embezzlement, bribery, and nepotism. Assalamualaikum, my name is Muhammad Farhad bin Suradin. I will explain about the related concept. So, the first point of related concept is corruption on global governance, economies and culture. Global governance system, economies and culture are all significantly impacted by the complicated and ubiquitous phenomena of corruption. It can be broadly defined as the misuse of authority for personal benefit, which includes a variety of practices such influence peddling, embezzlement, bribery, and nepotism. We proceed to the second point, which is number of intricate and frequently connected reasons. Corruption is a complex phenomenon that can be attributed to a number of intricate and frequently connected reasons. These reasons can vary depending on the specific context and environment in which corruption occurs. Some of the factors that can be explained the prevalence of corruption include socio-economic factors, weak governance and institution, culture and social norms, and also inequality and discrimination. The third point of related concept is corruption can occur in both the public and private sector. Corruption can also from a variety of complex variety. Okay, the third point of related concept is corruption can occur in both the public and private sector. This point is explained about the corruption can also arise from a variety of complex and frequently related causes, including the institutional flaws, a lack of accountability and transparency, a lack of effective law and regulation enforcement, also low official pay, intricate the regulatory system, and cultural element like the acceptance of corrupt behavior in society. Okay, the last point of related concept is about the Malaysia employ a variety of tactics to tackle the legal. Corruption in Malaysia is influenced by the factor such as discretionary power, lack of transparency, and accountability. The government has taken steps to address this issue through the establishment of anti-corruption agencies and legal framework. However, addressing deep-rooted corruption requires sustained effort to promote transparency, strengthen accountability mechanism, and foster a culture of integrity within the public sector.
Thank you to the previous presenter. My name is Nur Intafana binti Adman, and I would like to continue with the symptom of corruption. Basically, people tend to take the easy way out by giving or accepting bribes in the form of money, luxury item, and so on in return for getting what they want. The opportunity to commit corruption exists because of the weakness of internal control, the diversity of bureaucracy, no monitoring, no segregation of duty system, and the use of discretionary power. For example, application procedure that have many layers before being approved costing to be slow. The situation open opportunity for customer who want to be quick to offer bribe. There exist several indicators or symptoms that connect person engaged in corrupt activities, particularly politicians and other public or private authorities. This is demonstrated by sudden shift in luxurious lifestyle, a failure to disclose the source of property purchase, denial of promotion or transfer, sudden resignation, and relationship or staff tie with department client or contractor. Being overly kind to the wealthy or member of the upper class usually result in someone using bribery as a quick cut to further their own financial interests. This can be seen more clearly in the case of Samdabi Company, where they announced a loss of 964 million for the second quarter of the financial year 2010. The result of the investigation led to the arrest of 3 senior Samdabi officials who were involved in corruption, where they gave bribe in the form of luxury goods as wages to help approve and expedite progress payment claim in relation to contract. Following this, the Malaysia Anti-Corruption Commission (MACC) launched Ops Billion to investigate the lost causes of the government-related company. According to these cases, it clearly proved that corruption can cause huge losses to financial management of both organizations. Thank you. I would like to pass to the next presenter.
Assalamualaikum and good morning to Ms. Jamira. I am Intan Najira binti Abdul Rahman. In this video, I will explain about the factor of corruption with the recommendation. The factor of corruption is lack of integrity among government servants. Integrity should be evaluated based on consistent performance of enforcement obligation from the perspective of enforcement. Bernama 2020 compares Malaysian government employees' corruption and power abuse to an illness that progressively attempts weakening the government institution. Subsequently, the hardship grows as government employees deal with personal problems, money problems, and an intolerant workplace. Government employees who are in need of money or have a greedy mindset are more likely to take bribes in order to achieve their goals. For example, the increasing number of government workers at grade 54 and higher who have been involved in corruption over the past 10 years is concerning since it presents an unfavorable standards of high-profile incidents.
Furthermore, by improving transparency in which allowing people to access information can prevent the issue from worsening. Transparency has evolved into a commonly advocated principle of good governance across the various contexts today. This extends beyond the development nations to include developed countries where transparency has gained prominence as a crucial concept within a public sector. It is considered as a foundational value that is contribute to the realization of other administrative principles such as integrity, fairness, accountability, and the fight against corruption. Transparency serves as an embodiment of effective governance, wherein the administration is open to the public regarding its action and operations. Government transparency pertains to the responsibilities of government to provide clear, accountable, and truthful information to citizens about the allocation of tax, the laws in place, potential penalties, and many more. So generally, government transparency is divided into 3 categories, which are proactive disclosure, public record request, and campaign finance disclosure. According to Siti Nagatiko 2020, transparency can be achieved by granting access to information detailing government activities and performance, ensuring they are readily visible to the public. The objective is that enhancement in transparency would inherently foster greater government accountability. Transparency has the capacity to bring out changes and exert influence on political structure, businesses, the environment, and culture by improving administrative procedure and system at both regional and national levels. In this regard, South Korea can be a good example for a valuable reference point for exploring ways to enhance governmental transparency in developing countries. Since the democratic transition in 1987, Korea has witnessed a rapid improvement in general in governmental transparency.
The third factors that leads to corruption is cultural and social norms. Cultural and social rules affect corruption by making a certain behaviors seems normal even if they are not right. For example, some societies value family connections or friendships more than fairness. So, people might get jobs or favors because of who they know, not because they are the best candidates for the job. Among the most famous corruption culture in our country is, firstly, the acceptance of grace payments. In certain cultures, providing small payments or gifts to expedite services is considered normal. However, this practice can contribute to systemic corruption by perpetuating a culture where paying for preferential treatment is acceptable. Secondly, gift giving, whereby a gift provided by a beneficiary or employee in expectation of a service or favor. And the third one is embezzlement, which is theft of state resources and funds. For instance, the most recent cases involving embezzlement is the case of our former ex-minister Sheikh Sadiq, where he was found guilty of embezzling more than 200,000 of funds for a political party. These cultural norms don't necessarily promote corruption outright, but they can create an environment where corrupt practices are more likely to occur or be tolerated. Over time, this practice become entrenched in the fabric of society, making it challenging to combat corruption without addressing these underlying cultural attitudes.
This factor can be decreased by established corruption prevention and promotion of integrity. Tun Abdullah bin Ahmad Badawi unveiled the National Integrity Plan, which aimed to address organizational and societal norms that supported corrupt behavior, as well as to expand the fight against corruption by highlighting ethical responsibility on a both personal and institutional level. The Malaysian Anti-Corruption Academy is in charge of overseeing training initiative aimed at improving the professionalism and competency of officers. Additionally, it is in charge of offering training courses in a number of subjects, including administration, intelligence, prosecution, inquiry, and preventive measure. It is also runs anti-corruption education initiative. As a result, numerous companies, executives, and employees have signed the corruption-free pledge, also known as Ikrar Bebas Rasuah.
Furthermore, by improving transparency in which allowing people to access information can prevent the issue from worsening. Transparency has evolved into a commonly advocated principle of good governance across the various contexts today. This extends beyond the development nations to include developed countries where transparency has gained prominence as a crucial concept within the public sector. It is considered as a foundational value that is contribute to the realization of other administrative principles such as integrity, fairness, accountability, and the fight against corruption. Transparency serves as an embodiment of effective governance, wherein the administration is open to the public regarding its action and operations. Government transparency pertains to the responsibilities of government to provide clear, accountable, and truthful information to citizens about the allocation of tax, the laws in place, potential penalties, and many more. So generally, government transparency.
The third recommendation is to reform the public administration by setting Singapore as the milestone. According to the Transparency International Corruption Perceptions Index (CPI 2022), Singapore will rank among top 5 least corrupt country in the world out of 180 countries. Now, let's take a look on how Singapore managed to be the country with low corruption rate. In the late 1950s, Singapore faced a big problem with corruption in its government. The People's Action Party, PAP, wanted to stop this, so they made a law called as the Prevention of Corruption Act, PCA, in 1960. Their law gave a special group called the Corrupt Practice Investigation Bureau, CPIB, more power to catch corrupt people. If an investigated person was found guilty of illegal gratification, then they had to pay back the amount obtained as a bribe. The PCA provided the CPIB with the arrest powers, the right to search individuals who are arrested, and the authorization to investigate bank accounts involved in crime. Significantly, the PCA ensured that the mere intention of receiving a bribe, even if not physically obtained, could constitute grounds for conviction. Moreover, Singapore citizens could be prosecuted for corruption if activities were committed outside of the country. At the same time, Singapore also worked on improving its government workers' pay to keep them happy and prevent them from leaving for better paying jobs in private companies. This is to deter the brain drain issue. They also made changes in how the police work. Officers were moved to different jobs every 3 years to prevent corruption in specific areas. Not to mention that Singapore's leaders were really committed to stopping corruption. They even made sure the CPIB could work independently and they kept improving its way of catching corrupt people. Unlike Malaysia, even though we have anti-corruption measures, there have been instances where high-profile corruption cases have been subject to controversy and allegations of political interference. So, to conclude, Singapore's plan included changing the law, making sure government workers were paid well, and training the police to be honest. These steps all together help Singapore fight corruption and have a fair and trustworthy government, in which we, Malaysians, need the most.
To sum up, financial management plays a critical role in an organization operation. It is imperative that corruption in public financial management be addressed in order to maintain accountability, transparency, and good governance. Organizations may make improvement to their financial management procedures and support sustainable development by comprehending the origins and effects of corruptions by putting in place strong anti-corruption measures like we already discussed in this presentation. It is also vital to tackle corruption in public financial management in order to alleviate detrimental consequences and advance sustainable development and good governance. The implementation of anti-corruption measures and reforms that improve public financial management procedures, accountability, transparency, and integrity necessitates a concentrated effort. Thus, organizations can advance sustainable development and enhance their financial management procedures by doing this. And that's all from us. Thank you.